Welcome to episode number 25 of the Eavesdrop Flycast podcast, or the Eavesdrop podcast. This week we have my two my favorite podcast probably.
Wait, is this episode 20? It's episode what?
25.
Dude, that's the episode of the Flycast that we're on.
Really?
The next episode of the Flycast is 25.
And we started at the same time though.
Yeah,
so.
no, we started.
No, you guys started 2 years ago.
No, I think we started like 2 months. 2 weeks.
Well, you couldn't do 20 episodes in 2 months, so
Yeah,
2 years.
Maybe you
We
couldn't.
did.
Well,
We
how many
did.
episodes is the OpTic podcast at?
I don't know. The podcast is dead.
No, but it's making a comeback, I heard.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, this week is brought to you by Seagate, the main sponsor of the heczquarters, the ones that make the world go round and round, the heczquarters. Thank you so much for the support. I'll tell you a little bit more about them later. And calm.com/eavesdrop. That's CALM.com. And you probably use it. Have you used calm.com? Because this is whatever it is that you use for meditative guidance and
I use YouTube for everything.
Okay, well, calm.com, I'm going to give you 25% off, and I'll tell you how in a little bit.
25% off what? You'll tell me
premium
in a little
subscription.
Bit?
All right, so today we have a very cool guest. We have Hitch, and then we have Maniac,
Yes.
the Brainiac.
Bringing pain to your back.
Oh,
Making a track. Slaying the facts.
you know, it's crazy that in order for me to be in the Flycast, I had to invite the Flycast onto the Eavesdrop.
Nobody's invited.
You
on the
guys are
Flycast.
never going to have guests on the.
We thought about it, but then
This is the only way you'll get it.
yeah. No.
Well, there you go. You guys have to invite them two as a pair. Now, I do have podcasts coming in individually with each of them. I just don't know when. I like to get like really popular people like in between, and then bring it down a little bit to have like not so popular.
Fill in the spaces.
No, it's cool. So,
Wait, I got a question. If
Yes.
I have to make a point, am I looking into this camera?
yeah.
Okay.
You guys don't have three
that
cameras going in the Flycast?
You don't have 3 cameras. Matt has 3 cameras.
Okay, I just want to point out
We
the
need
fact
to-
that I
we need
used
to
to
find
do
a Matt.
Mexicandy, and I used to do a whole bunch of other ones with 3 cameras all by myself, all edited by myself, and I didn't even clap.
And I didn't even clap.
Well, no, it's important to get all audios to be the one. Anyway, welcome to episode number 25. Thank you for stopping by. I didn't think that you guys were going to be on time. We said that there's going to be at 10 o'clock.
We were 20 minutes early.
It was scary.
It was like 10:30. Did you almost back out? Be honest.
Heck, yeah.
Did you?
Kinda.
No,
I woke
I
up
was good.
and I was like, "Whoa, I'm more drunk now than when I went to sleep." And that was at like 9:30. That's when I texted you. If I wasn't drunk, I probably wouldn't have texted you.
Yeah. He texted me and said, we still going? I said, yeah. He was like, I'm drunk. I was like, good.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good now. I
So
feel
tell me
pretty
about your night. What did you guys do?
Last night when I rallied Scump, Zob, Hypoc, Roger.
No Maddie?
Yeah, Matt
No Matt, no
backed
Davis.
out.
He must have had one of his
Had work in the morning. Couldn't come.
duties
Yeah,
and
it was
responsibilities with my
it was a
vlogs
fun
and
night.
stuff.
Just typical e-gamer, buy table, buy bottle, sit there, drink,
Yeah.
go home.
Enjoy each other's company. There's nothing wrong
Enjoy
with
each
that.
other's company. That's exactly what it was.
There's literally nothing wrong with that. What did you do last night?
Edited up our conversation video. Then put that.
How'd that go?
It's up right now. It's doing well. People like it.
I started to watch it, but then I'm like, I gotta go. So I
Thanks,
went.
man.
You're welcome. So that you get 2 views out of it.
Yeah.
I started watching, but then I was like, I gotta go.
I took it up.
Hey, thanks, man.
I had to let the dogs out. I usually let Benji out first.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh, nice.
Woof, 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 woof.
Who's saying
That has been episode number 25 of the Eavesdrop podcast. No, listen, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, just know that you don't have to take your YouTube app with you. You can listen to every single one of these episodes on every single audio device platform that you listen to, as iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, blah, blah, blah.
You know what? You should try
All
to
of
get
them.
a YouTube Red sponsorship to promote YouTube Red,
Yeah.
because people need to get YouTube Red.
There's no more YouTube. There's no more YouTube Red. It's called YouTube Originals.
Really?
So
Is that
yeah,
whatever you pay for, so you can close the app, still be listening to the music.
oh yeah,
shit
yeah.
like that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. No,
I would highly recommend.
Well, I like to make this podcast as easily accessible to anyone, however it is that they listen to. And then after this, we're going to do a 600-second podcast, which is a 10-minute conversation that has nothing to do with the Eavesdrop podcast. So if in the past you have thought that 600 seconds was a highlight video, it isn't. Go back and watch all of them.
I thought it was.
See? That's what I mean. It was my fault for not educating the public. Anyway, boys, I like to start every single podcast with a question that goes like this. Who are you today?
That's your start question?
Mm-hmm.
You can go.
Who am I today? Shit. I don't know. How do you answer this? Like, what do you do? Like, what am I doing professionally?
Yeah, the reason I started that is because it used to lead into the questions like, who were you when you started playing video games, or who were you when this all started for you? But we're not gonna go there in this one.
Who am I today? I feel like I'm a hard-working grinder trying to still make it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Do you mean it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, I definitely mean it.
Yeah,
for
good.
sure.
I think I am.
Same thing.
I think. Okay, guys, because Maniac doesn't work hard.
It's my favorite part of your podcast when you make fun of the.
I think I am a person trying to, I wouldn't say find myself. I'm a person trying to better myself right now to be in the best mental attitude I could be for the rest of my life.
That's a good answer. That's correct answer.
Are you not sort of obliged or obligated to say that's a good answer when somebody says that? It's like, well, I'm trying to better myself. Well, you shouldn't. That's the wrong answer.
Well, I see that he's doing it. If
like
if he wasn't doing it and said that, I'd be like, but you're not really doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say that.
Like
on
if Bo
the podcast.
said it, you'd be like, I just saw you with a Mountain Dew.
Is that holy shit? Oh man.
Which I'm trying, like every time I see Bo's fucking getting like with that shit, I'm like, come on, sugar.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What I'm
trying to say is everyone in the house, I think, is getting more conscious and making better choices about their daily lifestyle.
Ever since Kitchen Gym.
Ever since Mike's Kitchen Gym, the house is just
just healthy.
One healthy house.
Do you think it has to do anything to do with the breadcrumbs? Breadcrumbs.
Bedcomb?
It probably does have to do with the breadcrumbs.
I knew that I knew that the Flycast was going to turn into something like this with the breadcrumbs of inspirational books that you leave lying around the house. I mean, I walked in there and I couldn't walk 3 steps without tripping over one. The mental capacity fluctuation of a happy person by Manfrotto Tripods. Do you think it has anything? Do you leave them for people to pick up and maybe start reading them, or do you just forget them because that's the last time you like?
The Power of Positive Thinking.
There you go.
I'm actually reading it for my second time. That's the first book I read, and I was like, I got something from that. Well, I get a little bit from like other books, but like this book, it's a little religious. Mm-hmm. But The Power of Positive Thinking definitely has, every chapter has like gems in it that are like, oh shit, like I can be a better person, a happier person if I apply this.
In high school, I read a book called, several books, the series of books called The Celestine Prophecy. Are you familiar? Celestine Prophecy, number 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe. And then it goes through the secrets of Shambhala, and it has to do with absolutely everything that's the positive thinking and putting it out into space, and that coincidence,
like law of attraction type.
Yeah, law of attraction. Coincidences aren't coincidences. If you run into somebody and you see them later on in the same day, the universe is trying to tell you to talk to that person. So just saying a simple hi in a small conversation can lead to something that you may not have ever thought that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's something that you're looking for.
Has that ever happened with you?
Yeah.
To where you started like a conversation you knew usually wouldn't, and then that turned into something like, maybe one of your best friends or some kind of business shit.
Lately, yeah, and it has to do with business. Lately, yeah, I used to know this dude in high school. Haven't talked to him in a long ass time, and and for people like us, it's really hard to decipher whether they're reaching out just because they want to see how you're doing, or if they want something because of who you are, who you've become. Yeah. So I was feeding the toilet. I was on the was on the toilet and I get a text from this dude that I know from.
I never heard that. I was feeding the toilet.
We're gonna say something nasty. Anyway, so I was sitting there and I got a text from a high school dude that we didn't even really talk back then. Like we were both into hip hop, and he was like a break dancer. I was a graffiti writer, so whatever. We just never really clicked or talked. But he hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, I got a question," and he led it with, "I don't want anything, but I have a question." And I'm like, "Yeah, hit me up anytime." So he calls me right away, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" All right, so I pick up. I just pretended like I wasn't on the toilet. I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm in my lobby of my house. That's why it sounds echoey." And then he's like, "I don't want anything, but in the world that you're in, do you guys have any need for like applications? Because one of my people, and I can't say what he does because it'll give it away, but one of my people is coming up with this like this program that is blah 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 blah." And in my head, I'm like, "Holy shit!" I was literally just talking about trying to get into this tech, company, and then this thing pops up, and this thing works with this other thing. Had I not picked up that call, and the reason that I picked it up was like, maybe it's something. You know what I'm saying?
Do you sometimes get those calls and you're like, send me a text if it's that important? Like if someone you don't really know if you want to pick up the phone for?
Well, I never pick up the phone if it's like a number that I don't know, unless in my head I know that someone's supposed to give me a call. But aside from that, no, I rarely do. But this dude texted me ahead of time, and usually I'd be like, "Oh yeah, listen, man, I'm a little bit busy. I can't talk right now." Blah blah. But this time, I'm like, "Well, I don't have shit going on right now." I have shit going on.
Shit going on.
So I picked it up, and I'm like, "Yeah, call me anytime." And then he called me right away, and then this led to this sort of conversation. Anyway, so the book is called The Celestine Prophecy. And then it's a series, and then it goes into the secrets of Shambhala. It's fucking amazing. It talks about the aura of the human mind, of the human being, and how you're able to see it. How you can see enlightened individuals can see more than just the aura of a human. You can see the life aura of plants, the life aura. It was very cool. If an eagle crosses your path, it means that your life is fucking really deep shit. And obviously, you take what you want out of these sort of books, and then you apply them to your life, and whether you let it impact you positively or negatively. And that's like up to you on whether or not you believe the book all the way through. And the reason I'm bringing that up is obviously because the house has been on new vibes, and it has nothing to do with any external factors besides the fact that you guys are all together, and it's something better, right?
Yeah, I think for the new house, I think it's a thing of literally has nothing to do with any external factors. It has to do with us being in the house, and then us kind of looking at each other like, all right, come on, man. Yeah. Like we gotta do something.
Everybody,
but not even like in a forced way.
Yeah,
like I don't know if there's another org that is like actually friends. I think how we're friends.
Well, phase.
Maybe, but how many people are in phase?
5.
Are you talking like Adapt, Blaziken?
Yeah, phase.
Phase has like 7,000 members.
Yeah, but there's only like 5 of them. No offense, Pamaj.
You think they like?
No, I'm kidding.
On the daily or like multiple times a week, like hang out,
1,000%.
talk.
I bet you the main guys do, without calling them the main guys.
No, I was
the Blaziken, Adapt, Brain, Tico.
Yeah, I was partly joking with that. There's only 5, obviously, but like their sort of relationship is like it's not even it's a bond that nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And they are friends. Like every single day, they're like with each other like nonstop.
Okay,
that's every single day.
Yeah,
that's every day, bro. Oh, Team 10 too, probably. It's every day, bro.
Whatever.
I'm kidding. I just
whatever they do.
I saw the Shane Dawson thing.
No, I think that is how we are. We definitely just look at each other as friends, like 100%. Like first off,
yeah.
But I think the new vibes in the house, we all sort of came as a collective, and it's like, all right, let's.
It's very much
let's step it up.
It's kind of like all right, enough bullshit situation. Because
like it's not even fun being a loser.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because
agreed.
Everybody in that house was in OpTic whenever OpTic was on top. And now we don't feel like we're on top. And now it's like, what the fuck have we been doing? Kind of situation. So it's a little bit, it's like our vibe right now is a lot of we want to prove that we still got it. We want to make money, and we kind of have like a little bit of like vengeance, I guess, in us. Like we want to prove that. Like I feel like a lot of us feel like we've been disrespected, and so a big part of that is like we earn what we have, basically. Sorry. So that, I mean, especially with all of us. I mean, Will and Mike are really right now into like a lot of business stuff behind the scenes, and they're, I mean, everybody's just always working. Like whenever we sit down and talk, like we used to talk about random stuff, but every single time us as a collective like sits down to talk, it's always about like what our next move is, like what our next collab is.
It ain't even like we call it fucking meetings or something. Like it's literally just like us. A few of us will happen to be in the kitchen just talking, and then like someone will hear it and like join in on the conversation. And next thing you know, there's like all 6 of us in the kitchen just like talking about like what we're gonna do.
Right.
Like what do we need to do as a collective or even individuals? You know, like what's the next move?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun, like being in that creative and like that having like that momentum, because I feel like everybody does have momentum right now to make something big, and I feel like we have the ability to do it. We've done it before, but I think people are like, some people are like writing us off, but there's so much talent in the house and so much creative talent and entertainment value, and I think we can do big things.
I agree, which is one of the main reasons that I've always like, and I've tried, and I'm glad that this is happening, like you guys having business conversations or like next move conversations, projects that you guys can capitalize on in the position that you're in. I'm glad that it's becoming a thing, because now I can really offer something that, I mean, obviously I offered a bunch, but from a business standpoint, like now, like that's the shit that gets me hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, like building something from like nothing gets me super, super hype. And I always think to myself, I'm like, how would it be if, you know, what would life have been like right now if last year didn't exist, or everything went right over there? Like TST probably wouldn't be a thing, or as deep as it is right now.
Yeah, damn, that is crazy.
The heczquarters there wouldn't have been a need for it, because if people listened, we would have built this for the entire thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a firm believer in not being a pussy. I am a firm believer in not ever.
Dude, put that on an inspirational poster.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer
in not being a pussy.
Yeah. Now, and I say that, and look, if you're listening to this 2 years from now, and the word pussy has become one of those outlawed words, because you're almost saying that, you know, that women aren't brave, which is obviously the complete opposite. They are. Because that's where it comes from, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Calling somebody a that is like you're calling somebody a
Jesus
you know
Christ.
What I'm saying? I know it's facts. It's true. But you know, for
Sadly.
me, for me, it's like I'm a big fan of like not feeling sorry for myself ever. So I'm like, I could have sat around and not done shit, but I'm like, no. I mean, I have my friends. You know, I have people that I like to do work with. So why wouldn't I? Why would I just sit around and sulk, and you know that?
You've never been the one for that.
Mm-mm.
I've seen you have like some fucked up shit happen, but like you're working that day still, next day still, like back at it.
I've only ever seen you like, actually no, I've seen you bothered a few times, but I've only ever seen it like actually fuck your day up like twice ever.
I mean, it's more than that. Those 2 days are the ones where I couldn't keep it inside. I come from a culture where bottling everything inside is like the way to be. You know, like there's no other, like I don't know. None of my friends are like every single one of my friends is like this. Everybody that I grew up with bottles everything in. Every so often we'll talk about shit that bothers us, but like we're never like, oh, like we're there. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what's going on because we're that close. So there's no need to talk about it, but we're there for support.
Yeah.
And Jude has made it like almost her life mission to like make me tell her, you know, how things are going. And I'm like, baby, it's not that I don't want to share shit with you. It's that if I'm stressed, what's the point in me telling you what's stressing me out and then stressing you out? And now I'm stressed because you're stressed.
Yeah.
And then Liv is going to be like, what's happening with mom and dad? Is it mom and dad or is it... And then dogs are going to be fucking howling and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that sort of scenario. So I just come from that culture where you're just like, it's yours.
Yeah.
And I just don't I don't know. I think it is a cultural thing or like a generation thing.
I think it's a generation thing. That's how everyone that I know from the generation above me is the same way, especially all the men.
Yeah, it's true.
My dad was like that. My uncle's like that. Both my uncles are like that.
I
just
think everyone in my family older than me.
It's not a bad thing.
I think it is. Probably.
It is a bad thing
to like hold your problems in to you only and not really, because I guess whenever you put your emotions out there, I think opportunities come in ways you wouldn't expect that could help how you feel or like help overcome like a certain obstacle. That makes sense.
Yeah,
it does.
Two heads are better than one.
So I don't think like holding that shit in's like good for you.
Yeah. One thing that I have done differently since, and I learned to do this, was like talking about money at the table. You know, my family was always like, you know, we don't talk about money. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about money. And I think that was like such a bad thing to do early on, because when you don't talk about money or you treat money as a thing, you sort of either apply overly negative thing about it, like, oh, you shouldn't do things only for money, so you should, or like, you know, we're short on cash, so it's a negative sort of feeling. So like money was never talked about, and now I'm like,
I think I'm going to talk about if I ever have kids, I'm going to talk about money openly.
Yeah,
because it was always a thing in my family. We just don't talk about money. I had no idea. To this day,
I don't remember ever hearing the word money.
I have no idea how much my dad made, and I know that the only reason I know my mom didn't make a lot of money is because teachers are royally shafted in America. So we never talked about it, and so even now, like when you get into like the big, like. When you get into not day-to-day money use, but like big time, like yearly salaries and like different like payments, like car payments, houses, and I don't know anything about that. Like the like separation, the separation between like $200,000 and like $400,000. I don't understand it. Like I can't understand the difference between a $200,000 house and a $400,000 house, and like what that would mean on a day-to-day basis, because that's just something I never like learned. So like I'm trying to learn it now in case I want to eventually buy a house or invest into a business or something like that. But that all deals with money on a larger scale than I ever learned it.
It was weird as a kid, obviously you don't know about money, like, and you don't really care. Whatever your parents are providing, you're like happy with or whatever.
Right.
But I remember my dad at one point lived in like a 2-bedroom almost like trailer, and like back then I was like, oh, this really ain't like a good look. At the age of like 14 or some shit. I was like, this really ain't like a good look, but like, you know, whatever, I'm chilling here. And then like eating like ramen noodles and shit for dinner off like paper plates, and just having like little ass beds and like a toilet that barely worked. Yeah. Like I kind of forget that's how it used to be, because now I'm just like at a place where it's like everything fucking works. Just, you know, you just look around and it's like, wow, this is not how I grew up. Yeah. And even with my mom was a single mom, and I definitely growing up, I didn't realize the fucking struggle it had to be raising 2 kids by yourself. Right. Like, damn.
Well, you see it now, right? You're trying to raise you by yourself. You're trying to pay for all your stuff, and you take away the fact that you're not paying any rent. Right. You take away the fact that you're not paying any bills. You know what I'm saying? Like it adds up.
And they're making less than what I make.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super difficult.
Jesus.
That's something that I've never ever, like, I don't think I'll ever not talk about money at the table or not talk about, because I want to teach Liv to be the best that she can be. And I started teaching her like just regular business, like theories in a sense. And I'm like, all right, so she likes Build-A-Bear. And I'm like, okay, so Build-A-Bear, you buy it for how much? And how much does mom buy it for? And she's like $20. And I'm like, okay. So, Build-A-Bear gets the stuffing for like $1. And then gets the outside of it, the shell, for like $3. And then I made it to be a dividend of 27. I made it like a $5 sort of thing. And she's like, what's your profit? And she's like, 15. And I'm like, how many can you buy with 15? She's like, 4 more bears. And then she just kept going. And had I been taught that like super early on, I think that I'd be, again, it's theory.
That could be a story. Sorry, do you want to keep going?
No.
That could be a story when Liv is like 30.
I was just thinking this.
A fucking
mogul,
almost like a billionaire or something. and they're like, she's getting interviewed. Like, how did you like get into it? And they're like, well, my dad when I was 10 said, how much is your Build-A-Bear? And then basically, and then literally everything you just said. Right, I could literally see that coming to like fruition or whatever.
Yeah, if there's any teenagers that watch this, and I'm sure there is, like, think of this. Okay, tell your parents to tell you how much they make a month, and then tell them how much they have to spend for you to have a roof over your head, and then think about how stupid you are asking for those shoes.
I would see. I feel like
I had the fucking balls to ask my dad for $72 pair of shoes in high school.
Yeah,
and now in retrospect, I'm like, he did it. I'm like, that's gangster, dude.
Yeah,
but I was just like, what did that do?
I think about how much money my parents made, and then how the payments that they were making on top of that. They both had car payments, house payment, internet, TV, electricity, all of that. And then on top of that, how bratty I was in middle school. It's like like everybody in middle school is wearing polos.
Yeah.
$50 polos.
Sometimes double polos so they can have the double collar.
And all I wanted was polos. And then they were like, we can't buy you 12 polos. Like, keep wearing your t-shirts. And then I was like, but everybody's wearing polos. And then my dad went on eBay and bought like 10 polos, and they all came in. He probably saved $25 on each polo. And so I'm just sitting there, and I didn't take any of that, or I took it for granted. I took it all
like,
for
finally
granted.
A shirt.
Finally a polo shirt. When in reality, like, I think about it now.
Yeah. Now you don't give a fuck what you wear. You know what I'm saying?
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
I want to see Hitch bring polos back.
I can bring polos.
I've seen the picture too with your braces on the polo.
Double polo.
Yeah, the double. It was a double polo.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I should bring New Balances back.
Whoa. Back? What you mean back?
You got Off-Whites on right now.
Yeah, but I also just, 999 Kennedy's my favorite shoes ever. Never got a chance to get them. They're impossible to get. These aren't it.
I guess our parents, think we'll go out to a dinner, like a nice dinner, spend $100 and not like think about it. Think about your parents trying to buy, like, Mom, I want these shoes. And in
this day and age, where shoes aren't 120 max, we're talking about $1,700 kicks. If you know what I'm saying?
Different.
Yeah,
no, it is completely different.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, parents, they have to stop and be like, can we afford these?
Right.
And I don't think I've ever, maybe back then, I don't stop and be like, can we afford these? Okay, I got this, pay for that,
I am conscious about what I spend my money on.
Parents probably really broke it down just to get you something that you hardly respected.
My parents both took Dave Ramsey's financial class, and it's like a finance class that it works with the church, and they literally they were so organized at a time. They had books. They kept receipts from their checks and everything. Like, everything that was spent was documented, because that's how you take care of your money, basically. So you just don't spend, because all the little things are what adds up.
Yeah,
it's not like your big purchases. So I think back to that, and I'm just like, the amount of times that I'm just like, let's go to a nice dinner, and I'll take care of the bill, or sometimes you do that. We're not talking to you.
But I used to.
Yeah.
People forget that I used to.
Used to what?
Fucking penny pinch and think about my,
Yeah.
you know.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure.
I wish I knew that, Hector.
Hector.
Nothing changed.
You were the same motherfucker, just in an office or something.
No, I just didn't have the money. I had the attitude. I had the I just didn't have the money.
Oh, dude, I remember when I got the attitude. I remember because I was broke for so long, and then the first time where I was like comfortable, Blake loves telling the story because it was at UMG Chicago or UMG South Carolina. You know, the event that like didn't even happen.
Yeah,
because of all the Bluetooth stuff.
Yeah.
So Blake gets there, and I was like, dude, go to the bar. And I was like, 2 AMFs. I was like, dude, you're not paying for drinks tonight.
Yeah.
I got drinks.
Hell
It's like just the best feeling. Like that kind of feeling. Dude, that feeling means more than like buying like a dope pair of shoes or like a cool whatever. It's like if you can hook your friends up, even if it's just like a drink or like something where they don't have to worry about it, dude. That's like the best feeling.
The other thing is like if you tell your kid $2,000 comes in, $1,750 is what we spend. We have $250 for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like food included. We just have $250 just in case something happens. The kid then has the choice of saying, it's like $250. Shit, if I push real hard, I could get $100 of that to get these shoes. But then it could also open it up for the parents to be like that, right? Like this is what we live. This is our life. And then the kid will be like, all right. I can help. I'm going to go get a job. I'm going to give you half, and then we're going to live better. Yeah. Or I'm not going to ask you for this other shit that is unnecessary. Or maybe he's like, well, Mom, why don't you try to do this? The internet works like this. I mean, you like to sew and make little trinkets, those little bracelets that Hitch is wearing. Why don't you put those on the internet? And specifically now in this day and age, like kids almost now have a responsibility. If the parents did that, now the kids almost have a responsibility to teach the parents how to use the internet in a way that can further their family, financially. And it's not about, the luxury and the glamour. It's about living comfortable. I saw a meme, or it wasn't a meme. I saw an Instagram post where somebody on Twitter asked, is like, what do you consider being financially stable or financially free? And then somebody, the most upliked or the most retweeted one was, having every bill on autopay and not worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And I'm like, holy shit.
Super, super grateful that that's where I am currently.
Yeah. Bro, Jude still to this day doesn't do that. I'm like, baby, just put that on auto. She's like, no, I like doing it like this. And in my head, I'm like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, just put it on autopay. It'll save you so much time at the end. And she's like, no, I like to do it like manually. But in the past, she had to like literally, because she's always been the person that handles all the bills and all that. Just couldn't be asked. But she would like do everything, and sometimes she would like get creative. We're like, well, if we don't pay this week, we'll blah, 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 the whole thing. And now I'm just like, just put it over the shit on fucking autopay. Right. And she wouldn't. But anyway, let's move on a little bit. Obviously,
I was not expecting to start the podcast with that subject.
No, it just went there.
Yeah, it just naturally formed.
It just naturally formed there. But on that topic, what are some of the current projects that you guys have individually working on, like goals for 2019?
I want 200K, man. I just thought about it this morning because I grinded my YouTube channel.
200,000 subscribers. Okay.
I grinded my YouTube channel and got to 100K, and then literally like 2 months after I got 100K, that's when I started focusing more on the OpTic channel. Mm-hmm. And since my first wave of vlogs, I never really got back on track. Like I've done some good videos, some terrible videos.
You've been maniacing?
Yeah. Well, not as bad as you, but same path.
That wasn't needed.
It's an unnecessary attack.
But now, like, I feel like now I'm in a place where I'm back on track. But YouTube's so different now, dude.
Oh man,
it's so different.
Tell me about it.
So
YouTube's always the same to me. Make a good video, gets views.
That's not how it is anymore.
Views.
It's literally not how it is anymore.
Why would you say it's different?
Okay, have you tried uploading back to back to back?
No.
You won't get 4 days in, and I guarantee you, your views are gonna. I mean, unless you upload bangers, unless you lie the way you're really good at lying to people.
Well.
Yeah. Unless you do that 30 times straight, like
Well, I feel like the whole
It's hard, dude.
what, like keeping a consistent viewer retention.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Because I'm putting more effort into my videos now than I ever have. Like I think my videos over the past month are the best videos I've ever uploaded. But some of them are doing really well. Some of them aren't doing well at all. But regardless, the people that are watching the video are really liking them. So I know the content is good, but it's just not circulating.
I mean, it could be good. It's just maybe that's not what the whole. That might just be what a small amount of people enjoy.
Right, but I think people just aren't seeing them.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest issues.
Like it's not like the recommended
right.
shit like that.
Yeah, because sub
That's
boxes,
a whole different like.
sub boxes don't even exist anymore. Like you follow somebody on Twitter and you see their tweets on YouTube. If Twitter was like YouTube,
There's no notification gang anymore.
There is.
Well, there is, but it only goes to your phone. Like if you click the bell, it's just a phone notification, right? I think that's all it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
See it and like
There's no there's not like a list of people who have recently like uploaded.
There is like a little tiny list, but the sub box used to be you just click on YouTube and all of the people you're subscribed to, their newest videos are up. But now it's like your subscribers that who you're subscribed to and who you watch the most. So it's like if you know how like if you watch one Jordan Peterson video, you're recommended.
Yeah.
That is just that's exactly.
I almost
how it
hate
is.
searching for stuff because then my suggested like is something completely different.
Dude, have you? I was just talking to Matt about this yesterday and like congratulating him because your channel is doing really well compared to a lot of people's channel. Like people that used to run YouTube, it's like a second wave of like, holy shit! Like, I'm not going to say anybody's names, but. It made me feel better because I was like, damn, I'm uploading and I'm spending a lot of time on these videos, but it's not. I'm spending more time on YouTube and way more successful on Twitch. So for half the effort. So what am I doing? But I think there's a future in YouTube. So.
Yeah, the thing there is that it's always people are always going to have the best of videos out there that are like way better than somebody who gets 1 million views.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
sure.
that's just what it is. It'll always be that way. And you know what's crazy is that now that I have Matt and he edits like everything for me, I sort of see myself in the past and I'm like, holy shit, I'm concentrating on way more. On many more different businesses now that I have in the past, yet I'm still, I don't know how I did it back then. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird because I have more going on now, and because of one other brain's help, I'm able to do just 10 times more things.
Yeah.
Which is like, shit, I should have just hired somebody way back then, and then it would have been like a completely different story. But the fact that I uploaded daily and edited all my vlogs on year 1 by myself, and year 2 is the one where maybe I missed like 10 days.
Yeah.
That, you know how hard that is? Even as a vlogger, that is super hard because there's really nothing that like to fill in your day or to be interested or find something interesting in your day to show somebody for entertainment purposes. Like it's super hard. To come up with ideas the way that I was coming up with them way back then. I mean, think about Nick, right? At the beginning of when he first moved to the 6050, he had the best videos in the house. Like even like he just learned editing and he was doing like the whole happy birthday Nick to himself.
But before that, I was getting 3,000 views a video.
Yeah.
For just joining into the house. So no one was like fucking with it yet until one video set it off. Then they started fucking with it. My little birthday video.
Yeah.
And then you threw up on stream, and that's when you blew up.
And then I threw up on stream. I didn't throw up on stream.
No, he threw off screen. Like,
off screen.
Yeah.
I threw up off screen.
But people heard it. Could you hear it? I don't know.
The stream was... No, the stream was...
Why on the carpet, though? Why don't you just, like, bring...
I was unconscious.
I don't think... Yeah, drinking...
I think Will and Mike came in, turned off the stream, and I was just there. Just hanging off the desk. Jeez. I almost downed a whole bottle of Grey Goose like that, just by myself. And
Why?
And it started off doing shots, or for every $20 donation, I'd do a shot.
Jesus.
I got 2 donations deep, and someone
Don't slam
stop
the
doing
table.
that. I got 2 donations deep, and someone donated $1,000, and I was like, all right, well, that concludes this.
That's dangerous. I don't. That's not allowed by Twitch anymore? It can't be.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
You can drink, but you can't drink for subs.
Yeah.
So I
imagine
just randomly take sips after anyone subs.
Yeah. Randomly.
Wow, what a coincidence. I'm thirsty.
And I don't want water. No, I want clear fire water, which is completely different. So any projects that you have going on that you want people to know? I mean, obviously, aside from the content you're creating, which is top notch in my opinion, welcome.
I mean, yeah, I'm really enjoying the conversation series. I'm really enjoying what's happening with TST right now. We're graduating to merch, and we're doing it all in house.
Yeah,
and George is doing it all. Basically, like, he's finding the local distributor. He's finding or he's going to keep all the inventory, and then we're going to do everything off of a website. So, and Blake's going to build the website. So I'm very, very happy with all that, and it's super exciting. Like, being in a position where I have the ability to invest the money that TST is making into more TST stuff. Like,
that's all it takes, dude.
Yeah,
that's literally all it takes to build something. You on your last Flycast, you guys were discussing the merch stuff and the merch business, and how you said, man, even if it was 50-50, that's bullshit. Like, I'm here to promote your brand and all that.
Yeah.
Because it is standard, like 30-35%. That's the standard. Where that you think that's not cool, right?
Yeah.
It's unfair.
It's not even morally right.
I know. I agree. It should be 50-50.
I thought it was
right?
70-30, 70 for the...
No, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
For you.
No, that's crazy. It just should never be. It should be 50-50. You and I are going to both go put $250,000 each to buy the... Oh, how about this? I'll put up 300 and you'll put up 200, so we'll make it fair because you are going to be doing some promotion for it. But to buy the machine... To pay for the warehouse, I mean, how much is a warehouse nowadays? I mean, the one down the street was $1.1 million. What's that a mortgage a month? Like $4,000 a month. And then the machinery behind it, the electricity, the gas, the employees that you have to hire in order to do this, the people that are going to manage your website, the people that are going to be shipping that, you got to pay for shipping. So that's how it works. It's not like people, they're giving you 35% and then like they're spending,
but I don't think it has to be that hard.
Okay,
like,
let me tell you reality
for their side.
Okay, go on.
Like, the people I'm going through it right now, it's like I literally don't have to do anything. Like, they make the product, and then from what I sell, they get literally like $5 per hoodie.
And how much are you selling the hoodies?
I don't know. It's up for debate. I'm going to wait, but yeah, we are trying to get good BTH apparel up and running. But I like the way they're doing it. It's like no contracts, no nothing. It's just like, all right, we're going to take this much from each hoodie you sell or each item you sell. We're going to take this much. Yeah. And it seems fair.
I got to see it because there's no way that they just take 5.
Yeah, I don't really know the price exactly. Like, we're going to see whenever for how much I'm going to sell the hoodies for, how much it costs to make the hoodies, stuff
Check
like
that
that.
camera to make sure that elbow is not in the way, Matt.
It's not.
Okay. Yeah. So that's those little things. And then you said, it's like, remember last week how you were like, yeah, it doesn't, like, I don't know how money works. Like, how much is a place like this? So I pay.
I couldn't even.
I pay $7,900 a month for the studio.
Okay.
Plus, I mean, up until last week, like $2,500 a month for internet.
Right.
Because internet in a building costs way more than a gigabyte, $400 a month thing.
Seagate came through.
Seagate is the end all be all. Thank you so much. Actually, let's take a quick break to give a thanks to our sponsors really quickly. First and foremost, Seagate. Seagate is a hardware provider that does external hard drives better than anybody else, and internal hard drives better than anybody else. Obviously, Hitch, you vlog, Maniac, sometimes you vlog, but you guys have this need to save your footage. I don't know if you're like me, where I store absolutely everything from all the way back. Obviously, the X files are put away somewhere safe because of this specific thing. But They've helped the studio grow so much in the last year that I cannot thank him enough. So if you guys want, you can guys go check it out at seagate.com and check out their amazing external hard drives. I for one, am the one, I use the 2 terabyte PlayStation 1. That's what I carry with me at all times. And all of the PlayStations here, that's what we save the games on. And of course, another sponsor that's coming back this week is Calm.com. That's CALM.com. Stress is worldwide epidemic. We know that. Everybody's working longer hours, especially now in the entrepreneurial age where it's almost like cheered upon for you to work so much that sometimes you don't have enough time for yourself. And, I respect it personally. That's the type of person I am. The constant news cycle, whether it's on Twitter, like just news, bad news left and right. Very often do news publications publicize the good things in life. They often focus on the negative. Therefore, you are always having this sort of negative input into your body. Stress is a part of life, but it can very easily affect our overall well-being. With stress and anxiety, many people can often feel exhausted during the day, but then it's time to go to bed and they just can't fall asleep. Okay, if worry is affecting your days and nights, then it's probably affecting also your overall health. That's why we're partnering up with Calm, the #1 app to help you reduce your anxiety and stress and help you sleep better. More than 40 million people around the world have downloaded it. If you head over to calm.com/eavesdrop, you'll get 25% off a Calm premium subscription, which includes guided meditations on issues like anxiety, stress, focus, and including brand new meditative states each day. There are also sleep stories, which are bedtime stories for adults designed to help you relax. Head over to the magical lavender fields in southern France with Stephen Fry, or explore the moonlit jungles of Africa with Leona Lewis. They have soothing music and more. Okay, right now, Eavesdrop listeners get 25% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/eavesdrop. That is CALM.com/eavesdrop. Get unlimited access to all Calm's content today at calm.com/eavesdrop. Get Calm now and stop stressing.
Hey,
usually it's
good
easier.
Shit, man.
Yeah,
good stuff, man.
Yeah, Calm. Calm.com. 25% off if you go there at calm.com/eavesdrop.
Yeah.
You should try that, man. You do a lot of meditative things. Anyway, so the way that money works is like that, right? Like in internet, for example, it's super more expensive here because it's a building, and only a certain kind of internet company is allowed in the building because of the contracts that they've put in a thing like that. So yeah, Seagate definitely saved it didn't save the studio because it eased the burden on me because I would have had to put up my money, or I would have had to find another sponsor to do that. More often than not, you are as an influencer or as a content creator or as a person on the internet that has an audience, you can find creative ways to pay for your stuff, but you always have to keep in mind that you have to be able to show a return for your sponsors. Yeah. Always. It's really easy to take that first deal and say, all right, this is what I got to do, and then just completely not care because the money's coming in. Right? But it is then when you have to go above and beyond to make sure that they come back next year.
Oh, dude, I think about Elgato every single day. Like multiple times a day. I just bought an Elgato Fathead to put over my bed.
Good.
I'm excited to put that up. But literally, I'm constantly thinking, what can I do to make Elgato happy? What can I do with the audience that watches me that would bring good vibes to the Elgato name? So the three of us have a really good relationship with Elgato, and they just went through a big merger as well.
Yep.
So we've managed to maintain a good relationship through that, which is not always
correct,
which is not always easy to do. So that's good. And at the end of the day, I have to always remind myself we're such a small part of their
influencer program.
Yeah, they sponsor PewDiePie. They sponsor the biggest names, and so as long as we can do our part as to the best of our ability in the esports Call of Duty scene.
You're like the big toe of Elgato.
We're like the pinky toe.
Oh, pinky.
If you don't have a big toe, your balance will be off. You can live without your pinky.
I don't think that's true.
No.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, no. You need the pinky toe.
You need the pinky toe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, like in a situation like you, I think Elgato is doing the right thing by doing that, because they're pretty much betting on the fact that you are going to grow and that you are going to be successful. At some point or another, you're going to remember that they helped you out at the beginning, and then you're going to do something. I made I based a lot of my like Scuf, for example. Scuf came in, and I talked to Duncan in 2013.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, we're gonna leave Imagine Customs, who pay us, call it $1,600 a month. Okay. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna give me that cash. You're gonna give me $1,600 a month on cash, and you don't even have to give it to me. You can pay for the rent of the Scuf house. But I need to get these guys in a house. And Duncan is like, well, bud, you know, you're gonna be able to. Well, bud, you're gonna be able to make more money than $1,600 just by using, you know, the Scuf code and that. And I'm like, I want to guarantee that the house is gonna be paid for, and that's that.
Was that 60/50?
Yeah, 60/50. And then he's like, sure, fine. He just wants to close the deal. It was OpTic. Obviously, we were just about to fucking explode.
Yeah.
You know, we've always been at the top in certain situations of YouTube. Specifically, one of Machinima's premier directors in 2010 to 2000, whatever. We always had a name out there, so it wasn't like they were taking a risk. We were literally about to build it. We just elevated or transcended another level. But they, you know, that alone made me, that and obviously becoming good friends with Duncan throughout the years made it super easy for me to say no to all the other controller companies that have come and went since then. Some have come in and tried to throw so much money that it would be a bad business decision if I didn't go. And I did that bad business decision, and it ended up working for the better because we ended up, you know, Scuf continued to innovate and do all the good things for us.
Right.
But it would have been really easy for somebody who started out as a young entrepreneur to say, well, I'm a businessman now, Duncan. You know, I got to do what's best for the health of the business.
Right.
Completely throwing away that he took a chance on me and guaranteed that my guys were going to be, you know, it would have been really easy for me to do that. But at the end of the day, doing the right thing is just as easy as doing the wrong thing or taking the easy path. So I did that, and that's that. So I think Elgato's, again, hedging their bets on the fact that you guys are going to blow up, and I think you guys will. You guys are funny. For them to be that, you know. So just always remember who had your back at the beginning.
I definitely feel a lot more comfortable now, because for a little bit we were cooking. It was like we were getting like 900 to 1,200 views a stream without a host or anything. And then we went to Vegas, and after we got back to from Vegas, I went through some shit, and then we also we like our streams weren't doing that good. I had moved into the house. Then I moved into the house. Streams are doing really well now, and the vlogs and the views are back on YouTube. So, you know, it's the best viewership I've had in
a long time.
3.5 years. So I'm excited now. I think
I was very surprised at how many views my first vlog back got. Like I honestly thought about it. I was like, man, my first video back, like, well, first we put up the Flycast, which kind of let people know, like, hey, this channel exists. And then I was like, okay, now's the time I need to put up a vlog, because I didn't know if I did. Anyways, the Flycast was a good setup for me to come back with a vlog. And when I uploaded the vlog, I was expecting, like, I would have been happy with 20 to 30K views.
As soon as you uploaded, I knew that shit was going to get, I thought I was going to get like 120.
Yeah, I was like, just don't.
Did he get 80?
Don't do like a 18. It's at like 85 right now.
Which one, the Flycast or your vlog?
No, my vlog.
Yeah.
My 30-minute vlog.
It's your first video back.
Yeah.
My first video back got 89. So your first video back, you lied and said you had a girlfriend. So that's 30K
No,
views.
There's a question mark.
And she's a friend.
Lied?
That's a girl.
You lied? Said you had a girlfriend?
No, my girl, she's a friend of mine. Question mark?
So I knew that was going to be like 30K views because you put a girl in your thumbnail.
Just wait till this one.
Which one?
Wait till this thumbnail.
What's
my vlog today?
What's the what's your content plan?
My content plan right now is to have some consistency on streaming, consistency on vlogging, and then get good fucking BTH apparel. Yeah. And then we'll see from there.
I think everybody in the house is we're very good at, like, for a while the vibe of the Scuf house was every day, upload every day. And that's when we started uploading trash. Like, we were uploading bad videos. But now everybody is kind of like if you take if I don't upload for a day and I know I'm uploading the next day, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't stress about it because if you force yourself to daily upload, you're just gonna upload trash. I think that was one of the downfalls of the Scuf House towards the end.
My problem right now is that I have so much to film, and sometimes I just don't want to make a vlog that I'm just like, well, there's nothing to vlog. But then the next day I'm like, fuck, man, I could have just done this instead. And now that I have like Matt, it makes it a lot easier. It's just that sometimes I just
don't want to.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't want to. And I get mad at it. I get super mad at the fact that I allow myself to be that fucking lazy.
Is it lazy though, or you like genuinely don't think you have like any kind of good content that you can make?
No, I have the firest of content. I had.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done a tour of my setup. I haven't done like an updated setup tour of that. I haven't done an updated setup of the this, and I have $15,000 setup, blah 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 in the title. And then when we had the LAN, we could have been like $50,000 LAN setup, and the SEO that would have banged, right? People would have been like, oh shit, I want to see this, right? So it's not that I don't have the ability to record. It's just sometimes I'm like, I'd rather just answer emails, and I hate the half an hour after I answer emails because I feel like my brain's just bzzz, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to go to my theater room and inhale the stuff in the theater room so we can watch fun shows. Anyway, so I'd rather do that because it gets so cold in my theater room, bro. I'll sometimes pass out for like an hour in there, and I'll be like, wow, I never knew.
Slept in our theater room last night.
I saw the video.
Yeah.
Who took that video?
Mikey.
Oh, Mikey. God bless his
Good
soul.
old Mikey.
I like Mike a lot, man. The shit that he's got going. No, there's no but. Yeah, well, there is a but. It's just like some people just weren't meant to make videos. The problem that I see. Well, let me finish. The problem that I see with Mike is that he's so good when he applies himself to make videos. Like it's so good, but with the other shit that he's got going on. Like I'm not worried about Mike because he's not just fucking. He's the opposite of lazy. Like he's always got a hustle going, but he's got this like style of video making in a person that doesn't like to make videos per se. So it's just like wasted talent, and I fucking hate that sort of thing. Like he's got like amazing ideas for pranks, amazing ideas for like shows, but he's not a video creator.
Well, I think he already told me he's thinking of uploading once a week.
Yeah.
Like Fridays. Fridays are when, or whatever. That's when Mike uploads.
Yeah, I can't see Mike as a.
I don't think he wants to.
Every day or every other day, like just vlogger.
Yeah.
Like walking around the house with a camera. I can't really see that.
He brings a lot of good vibes to the house.
Not that he's like not interesting.
No,
it's just like there's just I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like being funny. Or I don't even think it's being funny, but there's something that just makes people watch you.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is.
Well, he's got it. That's what I'm saying. It's just that he's creator stuck
he has
in a
it in a different way.
Yeah. He's a creator stuck in a non-creator body and brain. You know what I'm saying? Like if he applies himself to do something, he'll do it well.
I don't know if Mike's even a creator. I think he's just a fucking grinder. Like anything he does it.
Fucking discipline, bro.
He doesn't stop. Like he doesn't stop working out. He doesn't stop eating right. He doesn't stop. I mean, he started doing stocks and stuff. He doesn't stop doing that. Whenever he was working at Infinite, he was there clocking in at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. every morning. Like he's very disciplined in what he does. But I don't know. I think you guys kind of picked him up as a Call of Duty coach, and then you were like, "Hey, by the way,
Munchie Monday,
you can make a lot of YouTube videos and get a lot of support doing that." And then he was like, "Oh, I'll do that."
Yeah.
What kind of videos would you see Mike like succeeding at?
I already told him the fucking. I told him the secret. I told him the secret. He just doesn't apply it. If I'm Mike and if I'm this health buff and all that, I'll do what he's doing right now, which is like getting educated. And then he's always learning about like everything that is.
I think he's like taking a class.
Yeah. So moving here, I'm like, Mike, you should do this. There's a football, there's a bunch of soccer fields over there. What you should do is that every single day you just show up somewhere at 8 o'clock and you let people know that you're going to be working out there at 8 o'clock, and then you just run. You just do the workout, and everybody follows you.
If Mike did like a
boot camp
Wednesday, like every Wednesday or
every Wednesday, meet
maybe
here.
like Saturday mornings because like high school kids could join.
Yeah.
Like if he did like something like that, dude, that would be sick.
I know that's so. I told him, I'm like, man, I mean, I would show up, just to try it out, and different levels. If we're gonna run the length of this, but the beginners just run half the core. We'll meet you here in the same amount of time that it'll take me to run the whole thing.
Mike doesn't run though. That's the only issue.
No, yeah, he does.
He does, but he did hurt his foot. But me and him were running miles.
Really?
Every other day.
So that's the thing. Well, that's like one of the ideas, and I'm like, and then from there, if it works out, for a premium, you start, sort of, training people.
Right.
On, you're not training people yourself, but you're giving them a routine that they can follow.
Yeah.
And then little by little, with subscription opportunities, you then can open up a
Patreon.
gym. Yeah, Patreon. You can open up your own gym, and then guess what? The people that used to meet you at the free park where you were going there for free to do whatever. Now you get to charge people to be in a better facility.
Imagine
this, than the other.
Imagine if imagine if Mike opened up a gym that like after all the shit you just said, and then like people from the park or whatever, they're like, what do you call it? Subscribing to his gym.
Members.
And then like even us, like you might see a Maniac pop in working out and shit like that. But I also thought about it and I was like, if there's like fans or something there, I probably wouldn't pop up. Just because if I want to work out, I want to just work out.
Yeah, but I think
gym.
Yeah, I think
Kitchen gym.
I think it'll be good.
I think it'd be a good idea though.
I think it'd be good because I do think that, I don't know, I would show up anywhere. I mean, you think that, but once you're in there and the fans are also there to work out, hey Nick, yo, let's get a pic. Or they'll wait until I think it especially in Texas, man. I keep on bragging about Texas and I keep on hyping Texas up, or the Texas people, because they're so respectful, man. Except just recently.
There's some dickheads.
Where?
I've seen dickheads around.
Really? That like bad fans?
No, not bad fans.
Like
I'm
just
saying
show up
random
unannounced?
people.
Yeah.
Fucking in Texas.
Like I experienced
Not that it nothing to do with fans.
I experienced something, I think, last week. One of our companies that's neighboring to us, it's like right on the same hall. I was going into a meeting on the other side. What the fuck was it about? It was whatever. I hear the door knock, and I have my laptop in hand, and I open the door, and he's like, "Oh my god, man! I can't believe that you're here. I work at this place right here. We're your neighbors." And I'm like, come back in an hour. And I close the door. I go have my meeting. I was in my mode where nothing matters. So I went to my meeting. I come back and I'm like, oh shit, somebody came. So I put my shit down here. I walk out of my door. I go down the hallway. I'm like, hey, I'm your neighbor from down the thing. They say, oh yeah, we know who you are, man. So I'm like, yeah, somebody came to visit me. I'm here to say hello. He's like, oh, blah blah blah. He's probably at lunch because he's not here. I didn't see him. This whatever. So just 2 days ago, I go back in there and I'm like, hey, it's been like about a week and the guy hasn't come back. Is he here? I want to give him the time of day. And he's like, well, everyone's here. And I'm looking around. I'm like, nah, this is like a Mexican dude. And he's like, well, I'm looking around. There's no Mexican dude. He's not there. And I'm like, so this is your whole thing? Yeah. And I'm like, man, this motherfucker. Like some dude.
Who was he?
Came up pretending to be a worker at the place down here, trying to fucking get into the studio to check it out or a tour. Completely unacceptable.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weirdo shit.
Yeah, look,
that's when you guys got the security camera.
Yeah, no, I mean that was just a thing.
Oh.
But I did think, I'm like, that's not the right way, like if and I don't look if you're the dude that came and tried to say hello, just forget about it. It's not a big deal. It's just not the way that it was done. Like it's the way that you try to like fake it. That was
finesse.
Different. Yeah. Anyway, luckily I was on my mode where I was just like, come back. Nothing. I didn't care about shit. I just said, come back in an hour. And I meant it. Look, I went above and beyond. I went to go look for him to do the right thing. You know, give him the time of day. Now that I have free time to do it, and it was. I would have given you the time. You don't have to finesse your way up here. Like don't. This is an open invitation. There will be a time and a place where people will be allowed to stop by or to get a tour, to do something. But it's got to make sense, and it's got to be something that is just, I don't know. All right, Jesus, man, we've been going for an hour. Do you guys have to pee? Are you good?
I'm good.
All right, I have so much shit written down.
Let's get it. I feel like we haven't even started.
No, we haven't. So what is no?
If I have to pee, I just.
So in the Flycast, are you guys doing that weekly now? Are you guys? Can we promote it? Like it's guaranteed weekly. It has to happen. It's a blah blah blah.
Has to happen.
Why you blink so slow?
I'll be here.
Okay.
It has to happen.
I'm here.
You guys talked about. Oh, yeah. You said that when you joined OpTic, you weren't a fan of OpTic, right? You didn't join as a fan, and I had a question about that. You had heard about OpTic though, right? Now, was it you? What team were you coming from?
Noble Black.
Okay,
Powerhouse.
And how you part? I think they're still around, by the way.
Oh, they
are.
Yeah, I think they're in H1Z1 or something.
Oh yeah, pretty sure I saw some like players get dick from them again.
Oh well, I don't know.
Allegedly on Twitter. I've just seen the name around. What?
It's such it gives people such a bad name, man. You know, throughout the years, I remember this one time Marky B had his team owner couldn't fly him out here or something, or fly him to the United States, and he stood him up, and then the team owner was just like, hey man, fucking bullshit. And I told Marky B, I'm like, how much do you need to get everybody down here? And he's like $3,000. So I gave him, or whatever. So I sent it to him. I'm like, you don't need to pay me back. I'll get it back from your team owner. And then they came, and then I tried to contact the team owner, and then the little kid was gone and gone forever. I hope he hasn't had the nerve to show his face, because come back, he better fucking pay me my fucking money.
Yeah.
If I ever see him somewhere, I don't even know what the fuck he looks like. But if I find out, just pay your dues. Pierre, is what I'm saying. Anyway, so you came from Noble Black. And you stepped into OpTic. You knew who OpTic was. What was it? What was the feeling as a player coming into OpTic?
I looked at it like, I know my mindset during the time was, how old was I? 23, 24. Either way, I looked at it, I'm like, I'm 23, 24 years old. Like, I can't be competing in tournaments, especially with the money that Halo was at, was like, you know, practically nothing. So I just knew like that wasn't gonna last at all. And at that point, at 23, 24, that point in my life, I was like, I have to make a move somewhere, or like quit and like go to school, or
It's the worst thing you could do.
yeah. Well, I tried school a little bit, didn't really work out. Or I've always been friends with Mike, Ace, Cleet, who at the time was the team. Mm-hmm. And they randomly, it actually all came kind of together. I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted a team with them. And then they randomly, and then my team placed third, which was like good for that like random, like kind of scrapped together team. Like we actually performed really well. We should have got second, fucking like some of the most insane series ever. But like everyone expected our team to stay together. And then when I left my team to join, okay, actually backtrack. My team is together. Ace texts me at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. one night. And of course, I'm weirdly awake at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. one night. And he's just like, hey, this is kind of random, but would you be interested in joining our team? Like, I really think like you'd be a right fit, blah, blah, blah. And I got that text and I was like, damn, I think my life is about to change. I was like, I'll team with you guys if I can move into the house. Whenever I say I wasn't a fan of OpTic, I mean, like, I didn't watch any OpTic videos. I didn't watch any Nade shot videos. Didn't watch any scump videos.
Hex videos?
No Hex videos. So I just didn't know. I know y'all had the juice, but I just wasn't, you know, I didn't watch. I wasn't a fan. But I knew what it was. I knew the opportunity. So I told think we got Mike in the conversation. I said, Mike, if I can move into the house, I'll team with you guys. And then he was just like, yeah.
Yo, Mike legit said yeah without asking me. And I'm like, you're not going to fucking bring a random dude into this fucking house. And then he's like, come on. And I'm like, dude, no, you're not fucking, no, he's not fucking moving in. He's not fucking moving in.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that, before I got there, that was like a conversation?
Bro, the day.
I can already hear it.
The day you got there. And he's
really?
Well,
because I went.
Well, he's here.
I drove however many, 11, 12 hours. I come into the house and like, I think Crim6 pops up out of nowhere or something. It's just like, what the hell? Like, no one knew I was coming.
Really?
Yeah, Mike fucking legit just made up the decision on his own. And I was just, I wasn't mad, but I was just like,
you were mad.
No, I was in the Hector like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Maybe at your, what you were thinking there was like, he's going to be here for like a few months or something.
No, I'm like, there's no fucking room. Where are you going to put him? Everybody's comfortable right now.
Right next to Crim6.
Yeah. Well, yeah, poor Crim. He had his own fucking room, and all of a sudden he has to with someone.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, I bet you did. But anyway, so you get to the house. What was the?
I remember walking into the house, not hearing a goddamn thing. I think Crim6 popped out. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Wait, you didn't know I was coming?" He was like, "No."
Did you already know Ian from Halo?
Yes. But walk in, like literally nothing was going on. Probably Bo's in his room. Nade lived there at the time. I'm sure he was just in his room, and I just walked in. Like, I think Crim, I guess, or Mike took me to where I'd be sleeping, which was the master bedroom with Crim6. And I just sat my shit down. And I was like, hey, is there any like spare tables to like, and I just set my shit up. And I think I just like gamed or something. I don't know. It wasn't much of an introduction to the house.
Was Nade still competing when you moved in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was with Crim.
Right.
The fucking Crim will be like, what the fuck is the and then he will be like, I can't deal with this fucking shit, man. He's always fucking yelling at me, man. Like,
dude, could you imagine if Vision was around?
Yeah, well, I tried it. It just didn't know how to edit it. That's what the X-Files are from. I had day one of moving in. I wanted to do that whatever the fuck that was, but there was no way to do it.
Right.
I was literally like this, holding a camera. I mean, you've seen the footage. It was all shot with a 50 milliliter. No, everything was shot with a nifty 50, and it was like I didn't know range. So anyway, Mike was off, and the entire move in. So like. Nade saying, it's like, I'm going to sacrifice. I'll move into the smallest fucking room, trying to be the white knight. Yeah, a lot of good things. Imagine if Vision would have been around back then. It would have bigger than big.
Those would have been like 600K a video.
Oh my god, yeah, easily, dude. Oh fuck, are you kidding me? The fight.
Talk
about the fight. You would have had the fight on video.
The fight. I hear the story and I see the numbers. Like that would have hit. That would have been 1 million views.
Yeah.
I mean, I could still get 1 million views on on those fights, but I was talking about the Aches fight where, you would have been recording that. Think about it. We would have had not a webcam from, it would have been a good one. So you move in, you set up your shit, and it's just like it's work time. Like what?
Pretty much. I was just like, I guess I'm gonna play Halo, but even before moving in, like right when I joined OpTic, I think I made a video the next day. Saying like, "What's up, guys? Maniac here. Joining OpTic." Whatever the hell I said in my very first video.
I remember it. Because you know what's crazy though too is that I met you for the first time at
his second event when
at a hotel room.
But you didn't. You were like very off-putting.
Like,
yeah, you didn't come in like happy, like nice. You kind of like walked by me a few times. Didn't really acknowledge my existence.
No, this guy, you didn't pay respect. You didn't kiss the ring. I don't have a ring. Anyway, no, bro. I walk in and then I see this dude just like, I'm like, he's one of those fucking douchebags.
He is.
And I'm like, I was just like, all right, well, I'm a bigger one, so here we go. Hi, everybody. I'm like, come on, we gotta go. We gotta fucking go. You gotta do this. And then
I remember it wasn't Nade shot in the room too.
Yeah, it was Nade and Formal.
See, I jumped into that
Formal.
world and fucking, I just didn't know, like,
Yeah.
y'all are talking about, hey, we got to do this and do that, and I'm just like, I play Halo.
You don't know how much of it is bullshit until later.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Oh, it's real. Yeah, dude. I mean, think about how many sponsors. Never mind, because I'm throwing people under the bus. But people showed up to what they were supposed to fucking do. When I was there, I tapped the table, which is a no here at the Eavesdrop. I remember the first event, and I'm gonna what?
Sorry.
I'm about to ask you how your experience was joining, and then we'll probably wrap it up. But I remember your first event that you went to as OpTic after making videos, being in the house, being in Nate-Chat's videos, being in the house, being in other people's videos, being in the house. And I remember like we were at New Orleans when you shot
that
Worlds.
shit was crazy.
And it was like I'm like have you ever signed an autograph? And you're like, yeah, like once. I'm like, oh, you're gonna experience what it's like to be an OpTic. And then we walk in, and then I remember like leaving Nick behind, and he had like 15 people. He was just like chilling with everyone.
Yeah, that shit was so different.
That event was the first time I got swarmed too, because I had been in a few. Because the week prior to New Orleans, that's the week I came down and just spent like 4 days at the house, and that's when you introduced me to Bryson Tiller, and then I beat you in the rap battle. Yeah, that week.
Ava's chat room or something.
Ava Stream.
Ava Stream.
Yeah.
Patiently waiting in Ava Stream. But yeah, that was the week. So we met. We were like we weren't like friends, but we were just like talking at night.
Go on.
And
Wait, did you move into the room upstairs with me?
I didn't move in. I was just I stayed there for 4 days. And then we moved. And then after New Orleans, I went back home. And then I didn't come back until I moved to the scuf house. So yeah, I didn't really know you that well. I just talked to you like a few times at the house. And then New Orleans happened. And the first night of New Orleans was when you got locked out of your room. And so you hit up Deserto Mike, who I was rooming with. And you came and you crashed in my bed. And I was asleep, and I woke up, and I saw you, and I was like, what? And then you just laid down face first beside me, and then went to sleep. And I was like, all right, I guess this is it.
I think the thing about Hitch is when you first meet him, like you're like comfortable around him.
It's like the complete opposite with you.
Nice.
But like, I was comfortable with you.
You know what's crazy is that... Anyway, so let's focus.
Wait, what do you mean you're comfortable around me? Like, you think that's
like you're just a comfortable person to be around.
Thanks man.
Nice. There's the. I was gonna bring up the fact that like one of the first times that I flew you out for OpTic Intel, like I didn't book your first night, so you had to stay like in my room.
Dude, you know how self-conscious I was that I was gonna snore.
Yeah. No,
So,
how were you?
So, like, as soon as you were like, you're going to crash in, I was like, you just crash in my room. My heart hit the floor. Because I was like, fuck, I was like, should I just stay awake? I'll just act like I'm asleep for 4 hours.
Get the fucking
like,
weirdo.
It was that bad. But I'm like super self-conscious of if I smell and how loud I snore.
Well, if you shower every day, you'll never smell.
That's not true.
That's so true.
I mean, I shower every day. I shower twice a day. Like, that's how.
Sometimes. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Sometimes twice a day. Though, well, anyway, so I remember. Yeah, you can stay here. You can sleep on the floor.
Even
like,
you just saying sometimes right there, my fucking anxiety just.
I'm like, you can sleep on the floor, and I remember like waking up and then looking over, and then he's like sleeping on the couch, and I'm like, oh, dude, sleep on the floor. So if I look to the side, I don't see anything but a window. Like I'm seeing you fucking sleep there. This is like
a weirdo.
Yeah. Anyway,
you act like I was the weird
get
one.
out of the way of my view to my window
in the middle of the night with my one eye closed. Anyway, so how was it for you? Because you had known about OpTic. You were super into like Call of Duty, so you knew that going into this thing was going to be different. Were you at any point were you starstruck? Like, because there has to be a point where you're like sitting sitting in the living room watching TV, and then all of a sudden like you see Scumpy walk out as a normal person, hair fucked up. Wait, was Scumpy there at the time? Yeah, right?
No.
Who? Are you sure?
Seth didn't move in, yeah. And I probably knew Seth the best out of anybody. So I was moving into a house of strangers.
Okay, so let's say that you see Nade walking out of his room like as a normal person, bad fucking breath, picking his ass or the wedgie out of his ass, and going into the bathroom.
So Nade was already gone.
Oh yeah.
So I think the only time I was ever like, "Whoa, this shit is crazy," because I was in a pretty good mindset going in. Like I knew I was just gonna grind, but one time, food came to the door and I went and got it, and they were like, "Oh, it's for Will." So then I went and like knocked on Will's room and I was like, "Hey, food came for you." And he was like, "Oh, dude, I appreciate it." And I gave him the food. And then when I left, I was like, I just gave big timer food. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on in my life? So I think that time, but I was never like starstruck. I've told this story a million times, but I've only ever been like not starstruck, but like once ever, and that ironically was Scump. But thinking about that now, I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you know
what's
Well, I remember one time whenever we were talking about Intel, you came up to me. It was the first time you came up to me at an event and you shook my hand. You like sought me out and shook my hand. And so I was about to interview these like little kids that were randomly there for this one event. And I feel you like hit my shoulder like that. And I turned around and you already had your hand extended. And I shook your hand.
Firm hex.
Yeah, just, you know what I mean? Like, and I shook your hand, and I remember I immediately snapped back into interviewing these kids. But as I was doing it, I was like, "Holy shit, Hecz likes me."
Oh, so it's debatable. Have you ever been starstruck with anybody on the from the internet?
Pistola. Every time you see
so.
Pistola, he gets really happy.
What?
Maybe that's crazy. That's
Every time
crazy.
he sees Pistola, he gets really happy.
That's crazy because me and Pistola have our own secret handshake.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been starstruck. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I've been twice.
I haven't like met celebs like that though, or even like seen them.
It's weird seeing them because whenever I went to the Lego movie premiere, I saw Colby Smulders. You know who that is? The lady from How I Met Your Mother, the main, I forget, Robin from How I Met Your Mother. I saw her literally from like where Matt is now, and she like I heard her voice first, and I turned around and I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like you're not like starstruck, like "Oh my god," but you're just like I've seen hours of that person, and now they're there.
Yeah,
And it
me
was like,
twice.
Who?
The first one was Olaf Meister, at at ESL 1 New York when we went there. Like I was walking, then he was walking too, and I'm like, Olaf Meister, legend. And I just kept walking, and then he kept walking, but I was just like, damn, that motherfucker's real.
Yeah.
That and also I think it was like Simple or something. Yeah, it was Simple, but
CS people?
Yeah, CS people. Yeah, I don't know why.
Huh. That is random.
That is random, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm like, holy fuck, that's Olaf Meister. And at the time, I was so into like trying to make my team good that everybody talked about Olaf Meister as like the greatest.
Yeah, that was the time where they didn't lose.
Yeah, so Olaf Meister, and then obviously Simple has always been like the like a god.
I think the first time I met Mango maybe was a little. Well, for meeting Mango was weird because I'd watched so much Smash at the time, and he said hi to me because I saw Mango and I was like, oh shit, like that's Mango right there, and he was signing autographs, and he looked at me, he was like, Hitch, and I was like, what the fuck? So that was a time where I was like, oh shit.
Thank you.
The only time I've been like sort of kind of like that story, little shocked was when was this? I guess like the beginning of my OpTic YouTube shit.
Yeah. When you were popping.
We were in LA and we went to a house party. I had no idea whose house party it was.
Right.
And then I walk in, they were like, oh shit, OpTic Maniac, the funniest redhead on YouTube. And I'm just like, hi, there you go. And then I come to find out it was Gold Glove and like Fem Stuff is there.
What?
But like I had no idea who these people were.
That's dope though. That's a cool story.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to like think about now that I know who they are.
Yeah.
At the time I had no idea. But like it's dope to think about now. Like I was practically a nobody and walk in and someone who's like successful at YouTube.
Somebody
and
like
shit.
Gold. I remember when Syndicate started Like when I first started uploading when Vision first started coming out, and Tom was always like one of the top comments, like, this is so cool. I remember that was a moment where I was like, this is fucking nuts. Like that, like people that I used to watch or people that have established, names in the scene are like showing me respect. Like, shit's crazy. It's wild.
That is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Like if you think about the amount of people that spent time or lived at 6050, and then to realize that fucking that Karma spent as much time as everybody else that's lived there, but with his family at 6050 is like the most mind blowing thing.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
like we spent 2 years there, and he spent 2 years there. That shit was fucking.
Do people
wild.
even know? I mean, we could say it now.
Yeah, no, they knew.
I think
some
people knew, but
we just kept it. It was hidden for a while.
Yeah,
because obviously it's different. Like if you show up at a team house, like you're an asshole. But if you show up at at somebody's family establishment,
you're no respect.
Like that's a weirdo.
That's why I like Texas. That shit doesn't happen here. I bet you that guy that came by, the people that came by was not native to Texas.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that. That's just period facts.
Yeah.
Man, I think I'm just gonna skip throughout the hip hop part because I did want to talk about that. But I want to talk about something very important. Obviously, you guys have both been very open about sometimes feeling, depressed and some of the stuff that you guys have done. And you guys have. I think that what has helped both of you is the fact that both of you are like this duo-ship between each other.
Yeah.
That nobody else in the house has. Like, I mean, even Mike and Bose is like the next duo that I would consider like that close because they've done so much stuff together. But even then, it's not. Yeah. The Jersey thing. Yeah. But, and, hanging out with them and seeing like their dynamic, even me, who's a friend of theirs for close to 10 years now, sometimes it's really good to see that dynamic like in person.
Yeah.
Like when they're like at each other's, like just annoyed by each other, it's like the best time to be around them because of this shit. Mike goes and buys waters for everyone. We're coming home from Vegas. We're in the lobby of the MGM. Mike goes and gets waters for everyone, and then you can just tell that they're annoyed of each other, right? This is in the morning. They know that we have a travel day ahead.
They do get annoyed with each other. Bro, they like literal brothers.
Yeah, Mike brings a bag and then puts it on one of the luggages, and then one of the waters like falls off, and then Buzz is like, pfft. And then Mike's like, pick it up. He's like, fuck you, you pick it up. And then he's like, yeah, oh yeah, so you gotta get fucking smart now. And then I'm just sitting here like. I almost want to go for my camera to capture this moment, but I'm just sitting there just like absorbing this like dynamic.
When was that? I was there.
Were you? Yeah, you had to have been.
Holy shit, I was there. Yeah, it's all coming back. Yeah.
And he's like, no, you pick it. I was like, he's like, fuck. He's like, yeah, go ahead. Fucking step up.
I remember that.
Fucking step up there. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, Nick and I don't
do that.
Yeah.
So obviously, you've been very open about that, and I
don't know what it is either because we don't really have the same personality type. We have different personality types. I think we just have I don't know.
I think it's just humor.
Yeah, it's humor. We have a lot of similar interests. We have
weirdly similar interests.
We have a lot of similar like backstory too. Like I felt like I knew because I watched all the OpTic videos. I was like, when I go and visit the house, like I'm probably just gonna go chill with Nick. Like I was already thinking that because you had tweeted about your dad, you had tweeted about battle rap, you had tweeted about obviously video games and different shit like that. And I was like, I'm probably just gonna vibe with this guy. Like I'm probably gonna get along with him.
And I feel like when you came into the house, like usually if like someone, whether they're like just joining OpTic or whatever the fuck, I wasn't really the type of person to like take them and make a video with them. Yeah. But for some reason, I felt like comfortable making a video with you.
Oh yeah,
and then it turned out like really well too.
Yeah, and I remember you were like, "Yo, I think I'm gonna make a video talking about that new guy in the house." I was like, "All right," but then in my mind, I was like, "Holy shit, I'm about to be in an OpTic video." Yeah. But I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." That's cool.
Let me see if I got time.
I guess.
I'm writing in my little book.
Oh, as soon as you were like,
palms are sweaty, knees weak, palms.
You looked at me. You were like, "Dude, do you actually like want to do like somebody wants us to rap? Like, do you want to like write like a 4-bar thing?" I was like, "Sure, we can do it."
Oh yeah, we stopped like mid.
And then in my head, I was like, "I'm about to body this."
In my head, I'm just like, just think of some shit that rhymes.
Yeah.
And in his head, he's, This is my moment.
I knew that it's because you joined right before me, and you would release these like battle or like I know how to freestyle videos, and I watched them, and you were like actually using multi-syllables, and I was like, he probably doesn't know I know how to do that, and so the very first one I was like, Maniac, take it back. I'll take your red hair and I'll paint it black. And as soon as I say paint it black, you were like, oh.
I was like, oh, okay. And then like my reaction was genuine to the end.
Right.
Fucking how'd it go? Like the
where's Nick? Is he
chasing dreams?
Probably in the gym with weights and things. Playing a game of the Taken King or patiently waiting in Avis Stream.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God. I was like not expecting that.
And we were on chairs that didn't
impressed.
That we were on chairs that you couldn't make taller. Yeah. So in order to make ourselves taller, we were both sitting on pallets of Red Bull. Okay. And so you get up at that point and you're like, oh, and you get up and walk away and there's a pallet of Red Bull. So everybody's just like, were they sitting on Red Bull? Dude, that video was fun.
Yeah. So again, back to the duo ship, like, and I always made a joke. I'm like, yeah, my duo left. Remember how I'm like, oh, yeah, I used to have a duo.
Yeah,
like,
dude, you used to say that all the time.
Yeah, when Nade left.
I wonder if Nade knows that.
What? No.
You were a little crybaby for a little while.
No, I fucking was not.
You missed him.
Oh, of course I did.
Do you remember when Nade first came back after you guys were cool again?
Dude. Right, after they were cool again?
Yeah, no, not Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was weird. But then he came, it was after 100 Thieves has already been established and everything was just kind of like the dust had settled. And then Nade comes back and I remember thinking like, is this going to be awkward? But then you guys embraced each other like you hadn't seen each other in 10 years.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't know their relationship.
It was adorable, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't know their relationship was like that. I thought it was sort of like I didn't know it was like straight friends.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't
like I kind of saw
it was like us, like friends, but like not a duo.
Yeah,
no, like y'all were like
I didn't know y'all were like a duo.
Bit. Yeah,
for real.
Yeah.
So it was.
And that whole day, you guys just hung out and y'all were playing ping pong and talking about business. And I remember talking to you. I was like, "Yo, like, I think they're back." And I remember I was like, "Are we about to join 100 Thieves?"
Yeah. Anyway, back to sad shit.
The duo shit.
Yeah. So does it make it easier to sort of, because I want people who are going through this, that listen to this podcast, to know that it is okay to sort of be that way if you know how to manage it or get out of that funk. Can you get out of that funk? Like, I never understood it because, again, I come from bottle everything in, and having the option of being depressed or being public about being depressed was never like allowed in the place that I grew up in.
Would you say you've been depressed though? I feel like you don't understand it. Neither does like Joe Rogan.
No,
like I genuinely think some people just don't understand it. Like, sure, they've been sad, but their brains are wired a certain way to where it's like they don't, like when they get sad, they don't maybe let it turn into depression. I think they kind of just get out of it quick.
I think I dealt with anxiety in high school because I would always have like this sort of fear that I was gonna like die. So, for example, on my way to was it prom or something? I was a freshman. Yeah, prom. That's a junior ass, obviously. Anyway, on my way to prom, I saw in my head, I'm in the backseat of this car with other 4 dudes, all in our tuxes. I saw a headline the following morning that said 4 teenagers died in a tuxedo on the way to that. As I'm driving there, and I'm like, why do I have these thoughts? Yeah. I'm like, why am I like
you saw the headline of
me dying. Right, yeah. Okay. And I'm like, why am I thinking like that? And I remember being confused as to like, where the fuck did that thought come from, or how is it?
Dude, I have.
And still to this day, like I have like dark thoughts like that, but I know, like I shake it. I'm like,
that too.
And then it just goes away. Like I've trained my brain to like cut off something because in a world where I've always have tried to be a clown and to make people laugh, I take a joke and then I take the joke and take until the wheels fall off of that joke. But when you have that sort of brain sort of training where you take something to the dark, to the furthest and most funny place. That also happens when you're thinking negatively about something.
Sure.
See, you clutched it by, I don't know if it was you just had it genetically or just naturally came to you for whenever you get these negative thoughts that you said you just cut it out. You're like, fuck that. I'm not thinking that type of way. A lot of people will think that type of way, but that shit will just tumble into just all day, every day. That'll start, literally, people program their mind to start thinking like that. And like, as weird as it sounds, I'm trying to reprogram my mind to stop thinking like these constant negative thoughts, because I've trained my mind to think negative thoughts. And it wasn't I wouldn't say it was because of my upbringing or like a super negative upbringing or whatever. I don't really know what the fuck it was. Maybe one day I'll go to like a therapist and they'll like break down my childhood and shit like that. All I know is at a certain time in my life, I started thinking negative thoughts and I let it program my brain to be like that. You aren't these negative thoughts, but they do pop up. These negative thoughts do pop up, but that's not what you are. But you got to be careful if you're constantly thinking about these thoughts. That literally programs your brain to just constantly think that, instead of just cutting it off like, no, don't think like that. Just start. That's why fucking with Ace, sometimes we'll be talking about like some dark shit, and then we'll just start going love, 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 to just completely change like this dark negative shit that we're in. Because literally, it's like you can program, reprogram, unprogram like your mind.
Yeah, your mind gets addicted to whatever you're constantly thinking about. Like right now, I'm constantly thinking about work. That's all I'm thinking about, and so I'm addicted to work. And there was a month or two ago, whenever TST first started like ascending, and we stopped playing tournaments, we stopped playing like weird stuff that got our vibes off. It was just positivity. I was like, people want to watch us if we're being positive. So I was constantly just thinking positive stuff, and it really did change the whole outlook of everything.
Yeah, that's what I have to do before my streams. Like, fucking let's be like, these people are watching you, like. Yeah. Make their day better.
Exactly. I always say, like, go back and watch. If you're a streamer, go back and watch your own stream and think, would I watch this?
People be like, oh, my stream is not working.
Yeah.
I just, but in their stream, they're like, just their vibe is terrible.
Yes.
And it's like, why would people want to be in there?
Right. And it's all, I mean, it's good because my stream was like that. Like, even during TST, we had a great start with Blackout. We started playing tournaments, and then we started getting tilted every single day playing tournaments. And then we were making excuses. We were not talking to chat ever.
Jesus.
And then it was just like,
I thrive in a toxic team. Like, that's my shit.
Right, but you found a way to make it funny. Like, and that's still a good vibe.
Yeah.
If you're trashing Fwiz and Fwiz is giving it right back to you, that's still a good vibe.
Yeah.
But we were like getting tilted. Like, I would take breaks where I would go drink water and I would just like not be on screen. And at the time we didn't have 3 cams, so Blake and George were just
in their rooms, just
weirdly. Yeah. And so it was like a bad vibe. But then I was just like, all right, we're changing everything, because we had one stream where we just were like, let's just play GBs and talk to chat, and the interaction is night and day. But that's for everything, because I think I've only been, like, to bring it back around, like I think I've only felt that way once in my life, like actual depression. And that was when nothing was going right for me in college. My relationship was in a weird spot at the time, and then I was not really seeing any ground when it comes to like YouTube and esports. So I was just like, it was like a really bad place, and that mentality that I was in, that's the mentality that I don't think people understand, like what you were saying, where it's like there are a lot of people that just don't understand what being depressed is, because when you are depressed, you don't even know you're depressed. It's just like I would wake up, I think about it now, I would wake up and I would think about getting out of bed, and I was like, I can't do it. Like I can't even do it. I don't know, have you ever been like that?
Yeah. I'm literally king bed.
Yeah. And it's like,
yes, you are.
It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep some more, or like, oh, I'm sad because my ex yelled at me or whatever. It's not that. It's
honestly, my shit.
Wake up and then think, I'm not getting out of bed.
My thought process was, I want to fall back asleep so I'm not thinking. That was a lot of my...
You know, right. I may have handled things incorrectly when we were at the Scuff House, but I literally thought that if I walked in there with a camera, I would force you to be like happy because the camera's on.
Right.
But I literally didn't take into consideration that you had these fucking feelings, because in my brain it's like, boys don't have feelings, or you know, this is work. Get up and be entertaining. Like you're wasting away in a fucking room. You know, you're not a bad looking chap. You know what I'm saying? You're not fat. You're like you're athletic. Not that fat's ugly, but friendly fire. But I just couldn't see like how someone as funny as you could ever like be that. And then, you know, like you think about Robin Williams and how he made millions of people laugh and enjoy content, and he was going through shit too. It's just
because
wild.
you literally live in your own world. It doesn't matter about what's going on in the around you. It's you live in your own world the whole day. And if like all day you're kind of like talking to yourself negatively, not really doing much, you don't really see yourself as successful, it's not really something you can help. It's the feeling is going to be there regardless, but it's what the thing is to notice the feeling and then realize a change needs to happen. That feeling is there. I feel like the body gives you that feeling for like a warning, like, hey man, you need to fucking switch something up. Yeah. Like same with that's what I used to always say with my anxiety, because I think my anxiety, and like people probably don't really think so, but like my social anxiety, like certain random times I just get the worst anxiety, and like I can't even help it. Like mentally, I'll be like, I'm cool right now, but my body is having an adrenaline rush, and I can't really control it. But I know everything's cool, and I take that as a sign of like, okay, have I been putting off doing my fucking taxes for a year? Have I not called my mom? Is there shit in the back of my mind that I know I should be doing? I know I'm fucking up in places. That I think is what's rushing the anxiety in, and the key is to notice that, not let it freak you out, because anxiety is just a sensation, but to be aware of what's going on, look at it as a sign that you need to change.
Have you tried marijuana? That's not a funny joke.
No. Or yes, but for anxiety, fuck no. Yeah, that shit makes my shit skyrocket. That's what gave me my first panic attack. The reason I'm asking is because in high school I smoked. Well, after high school, after high school I smoked one time, and I inhaled way too much. And as I was exhaling all the plume, the biggest white cloud I've ever, like I felt my body go into shock. And ever since then, I had like that was the most traumatizing experience I've ever had, because it put me in a mental state where I was just like afraid of fucking everything. Yeah. I didn't want to drink. I didn't do this, and I quit smoking for a very, very long time because of it. And then I'm like, man, I did like parts of you know the weed at one point. I can't let this one thing like beat me, or I can't live a life where this one thing is like affecting me mentally so much so that I'm afraid to, you know, enjoy myself. And it wasn't until like early on when I met Hutch that he's like, you know, sometimes I get really paranoid or get really like massive anxiety when I smoke. So what I do is I just like I say, I'm like, okay, I felt this before, it's gonna go away, and then I'll just go take a lap around the block. And ever since then, I've been able to like smoke and just like not get to that mental state where I'm just like fucking feeling it, because if I feel it coming, I'll just be like, all right, I gotta think of something else. I gotta do something else. Yeah. When I was like 18 and 17, 18, I was a huge pothead all day, every day for like 2 years straight. Literally all day, every day for like 2 years straight. And then I think fucked up shit in my life was just starting to happen. I was getting into stuff I shouldn't have. And then one day I smoked and I just had a full-blown panic attack. Like I thought I was going to die. Like I literally thought my heart was going to explode in my chest. That's how fast it was beating. And then ever since then, if I even was around weed, I'd get a little paranoid. Then a few years pass, I tried smoking again, and like instantly my body, like it's like my body knows that like, whoa, this caused a panic attack that long ago. So let's start freaking out again. But like even mentally, I'll know like nothing's gonna happen, but like my body doesn't know that. My body still, if I smoke weed, it'll go into sort of like a, very rarely I can smoke and be super comfortable and truly enjoy it. But ever since my panic attack, I feel like my body just, even if my mindset's good, my body will go into like a right back to the adrenaline rush panic attack.
Panic attack, bringing Maniac back.
Me and Hitch, every time we hear you rhyme, we just look at each other like...
I literally say the same thing over and over again. Fuck, when have I ever rhymed?
Don't get upset.
No, don't start.
He wants to let everyone know he wasn't trying.
I wasn't trying. All right, you got any tips to get over that? I mean, did you give a tip? Just identify it and
you're gonna feel the sensations of depression and anxiety. The key is to know that that's just a sensation. It's not actually you. It's just a sensation that your body or brain is having, and to take that as a sign that something needs to change. Right. And if you're like, I don't know what to change, my life's pretty good. What kind of food are you eating? Do you get exercise?
Do you get sunlight?
Do you sleep? Those are like the four main ones. And I'm talking like good exercise, good, clean, healthy foods that you're actually supposed to eat as a human being. Some people can get away with it. You can't. Because I eat certain foods and I turn like immediately anxious afterwards.
It affects your mood for sure.
It affects your mood. So I would say if you're anxious or depressed or whatever, going through something, exercise. I would start with nutrition and exercise, because the thousands of years that the humans have evolved, they were never eating the bullshit that you were. They were never not exercising like how your ass is not exercising. So you're not going to, you're not going to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? For thousands of years, humans were eating pretty healthy and they were exercising all the time.
Yeah. No cars.
This generation now, it's like it sort of stopped.
Yep.
And it's like, no wonder that like you're not going to beat the thousands of years of evolution.
Right.
Like you have to be to be exercising too. You have to be eating healthy too. The amount of
mental health issues over the past 100 years, the reason it's skyrocketed is because that's what people are using now. People aren't using their hunting, survivalist instincts, because that was what was killing people, I guess. Was lack of medicine and also like the world was just more dangerous. And now we sit down for the majority of our lives and just use our minds all the time. So that's what wears out. I would say one thing that kind of helped me is because I wouldn't say I deal with like anxiety, but I do get anxious, like very anxious, and think like you said with the newspaper headline. I think shit like that all the time, and I thought I was like fucked up from it. But then I heard a story. It was like David Letterman, super open about everything, and he said he was just grilling on the grill, and he was his wife was pregnant at the time, and he couldn't get the thought out of his head where he was like, what happens if he said either drop or throw or kick the kid and I kill it, what happens then? And it was just overwhelmingly bothering him. And I heard him say that, and as I know there are so many people that heard him say that and was like, what the fuck? But for me, it like made me feel so much better, because I think weird shit like that all the time. Whenever, and it always has to do I think it stemmed off of one time I almost saw the puppy that my ex and I kind of got together almost drown. And it was like swimming and it started like not being able to swim. And I was like, oh shit. So I jumped in after it and like grabbed him. And ever since that moment, anything that's small that I feel like I have to like protect or whatever, it's my mind always goes to the worst scenario. If I see a kid about to cross the street, I think, oh my God, I'm going to hit him. Or, oh, what if I see him hit? Or something like, or like if a puppy out, what if I watch a puppy get hit by a car or something crazy always comes into my mind. And it's like, it like fucked me up for a really long time until I heard David Letterman say that. And then I was like, okay, so, and he was like, once I had my kid, all those thoughts went away. And I was like, so maybe like, as long as you know that other people are dealing with it too, like you're not like a fucked up person because that's where your mind goes.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say is the shitty feeling you're having, and this is what I have to tell myself a lot too. The shitty feeling you're having is not gonna be there forever. Yeah. And I think a lot of people look at it like, if I'm gonna feel like this forever, fucking,
what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
And you're not gonna feel like that forever if you apply yourself.
Dude, so it couldn't have been easy, going through what you were going through, being in the dark place that you were, literally dark place that you were in your room, and then opening up a social media. You pick it, and then people are just fucking just talking shit about how you don't do shit, you're worthless, and
yeah,
it could not have been. How do you not throw your phone away in situations like that?
There were times where I definitely wouldn't look at it.
You deleted Twitter off your phone for a little bit.
Did I?
Yeah, at the Scuf house, you were like, everything gone. I was like, what? You're like, Instagram's off my phone, Twitter's off my phone, Snapchat's off my phone, and I was like, it's probably good.
Yeah, I'd never really been the one that like shit like that bothers me that much though. Luckily, because these people eat some people alive. Fucking YouTube, the social media, but I kind of looked at it like, I think I always looked at it like, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm not gonna feel like this forever, and I know the type of person I am. So like whatever they're saying to me, it's pretty irrelevant because I got to do my thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never really been the type to let social media like eat me up.
Me either, dude. Never.
But some people get fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I find myself replying to people not because I'm angry, but because I want to show them how fucking dumb they are. and I sometimes feel like it's my job to like make the world a better
Sometimes
place.
I think that too. I'm like, I look at it like, when me replying to this guy and informing him of how much of a dipshit he is, will that help the world?
Yeah, that's all.
And
I
if I think yes, I'll be like, okay, I'll tweet on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I just do it just because I'm like, it's what I've done all my life. When I see some, it's gotten worse as I've grown older. And I told Jude, I'm like, I think I'm more honest with people than I've ever been in my life, where I just don't take shit from. Before I was like, I'll take the polite way out, and now I can't help myself but to help people.
Realize.
I try to look at it like that. Like, would it help them and help humanity as a whole if I verbally annihilate this fucker?
I was just at a restaurant, and somebody comes up to me, and obviously they're not a fan because they know that if I'm eating, leave me the fuck alone. Wait until I'm done, and we'll take all the fucking pictures. I'll give you a ride to wherever you need to go. But this dude comes up to me, is a waiter, and he has his phone out. And then puts his arm around me. I'm mid taco, and I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?" and I realized, I'm like, this picture is not for him; it's for somebody else. And I'm just like, I take the picture, I smile, and then I continue having my conversation. And then afterwards, I'm like, do you know who I am? And he's like, no, the owner of the place wanted me to take a picture with you. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, you couldn't wait. You work here. You couldn't wait until I was on my way out.
Yeah.
I was mid taco, dude. I love tacos.
You say that to him?
No, but that was like one of the first times where I was just like so confused that I was just like, I guess I'm not, because my neighbor just came by and, you know, not knowing anything about anything, starts spewing shit about how I'm invading his privacy because my camera's out there. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, this isn't a residential, you know, neighborhood. Okay, this isn't me, your neighbor, pointing my camera at your house. This is us working and sharing a hallway that is as much as yours as it is mine. That I'm like, and they have glass doors, right? So I'm like, if anything, your glass doors are sort of invading my privacy because you can see what I'm doing every single time. You can see what this is, and I try to explain to him how that's not the way things work. But I found myself saying I'm the moron here because I'm arguing with a fucking moron. So I'm a moron. In my head, I'm like, you're a moron. So, and I just couldn't help myself but to tell him. He's like, well, yeah, I don't know how my corporate would feel about you having the camera pointed at our door. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, my corporate, whatever that is, I'm like, would love it if I left it up and pointing at your door. And I'm like, why the fuck did I say, why am I arguing? I'm like, you're such a fucking moron. And I was just like, no, take it out. Then I started getting mad at Maddie. I'm like, Maddie, I told you people not to have it so blatantly out there. I'm like, just do the hole in the fucking wall, put a little peephole, and then we'll do the video, and that's that. Anyway, it's a time for another thing. I actually just
you need to get some shit off your chest.
God damn it, Matt.
I googled whether or not other species have the same sort of like feeling, or whether or not they're able to experience, you know,
mental health
issues, because, you know, do they understand mortality? Do they understand? I mean, aside from the instinctual, I need to eat because I need to, like, do they have that sort of thing? Or is it because we have gotten to the sort of the highest sort of awareness we've ever been in the world, where we know that, you know, think about back in the day, you don't know what the next town looks like. Now with social media, you're able to experience, not only see it, but experience what other people experience through watching, you know, whatever. And is it because of social media that we're more aware about the sickness and that is depression, when back in the day it was like never spoken about because there was no way to speak about it? You know, there wasn't like, oh, you know, somebody in my high school committed suicide, and it's like, oh shit, somebody in my high school committed suicide. Right. There was no way to like do that. So I'm always I'm lucky and blessed the fact that I don't have that sort of thing, or that puts me down in that way, because with the way that I am, I don't know how I wouldn't be just that all day long. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we've gone on long enough. We'll leave it open for a second episode. I want to talk about hip hop. I want to talk about a whole bunch of shit with you guys. So we'll leave that on the next one. Any closing comments? Anything that you guys want these fine people that are watching to check out while you guys are, you know?
Subscribe to me at Hitch a Ride. Really trying to get to 200,000 subscribers.
Twitch.tv/BTH Maniac, the fastest growing online gaming community in the online gaming community. To get a free subscription to my channel, just link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and it gives you a free subscription. So
that's just how he breathes.
That's just how he breathes. Also, YouTube's coming back. Maniac.
Yo,
YT.
what's up with BTH, man? Is that have you made all the appropriate things to be a thing or no?
Apparel? Like, have I done what I need to do?
The business side of things? No. So you got to.
Can Sonny DM me back?
Well, I don't think. I think it's out of it. My man's is on to the next big thing. It's not easy.
Though.
No, you just go and do it in your. We'll talk about it off stream. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, it's on iTunes, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify, it's on SoundCloud, it's on Stitcher. It is everywhere you want to go. No excuses. Be sure to check it out. All their information will be linking down below. Again, one more time, shout out to Seagate for providing everything that I need to be able to do what I do. And calm.com/eavesdrop, where you're going to get 25% off by signing up to a premium subscription. We'll see you guys on the next one.